Hello everyone, I hope you are enjoying our crochet journey so far, but today I wanted to talk to you about the essentials I think I really recommend you to buy besides hooks. But before, let's talk about hooks, of course. So the best way is of course to buy a set of hooks of different sizes, so you always have a hook that is suitable to the yarn, to the any yarn. But the main rule, if you want to buy just one hook, that it shouldn't be smaller than the thickness of your yarn, because look here, you see it's really hard to grab the yarn. I can grab it, but I have to really put effort in it, and so when crocheting it will slip out, or it will be really hard to crochet it, and you see it's starting to disrupt the yarn itself. So it definitely shouldn't be smaller, but it also definitely can be bigger. For example, in this tutorial I use a bigger hook that it's really needed, and that's totally fine. Bigger hooks just means bigger holes in the piece itself, but you definitely can buy one hook which is bigger than the most yarn that you use. But okay, now let's move on to other things. The second most important thing is yarn needles, and we are going to use this in tutorial today. These needles, first, they're for yarn because they have these big holes in which it's really easy to thread the yarn, and you are gonna need them for sewing, for hiding the ends, and you really should buy it. Even though you can use hook for most of sewing and hiding the ends, with these ones it's just much more easier. And here I have an example for you of a huge yarn needle, but these ones the most popular ones, and you can find them anywhere. They should be really cheap. And then the last one that I do recommend you to buy is the crochet marker. Crochet marking is just that thing that you can put into the piece and then close it. So for example, here in one piece I have a crochet marker, and look at this. This crochet marker illustrates where the start of this row were, because look, you can't tell that right away. Edge looks really flat, and I don't know where to end this current row. But as there is a marker, I know that there is the start of the row, where the start of the row, and I can continue. But so in summary, markers are very useful, and there are lots and lots of types of them. So let me show you. You can have these cute hearts, something like that. Also, you can use, I don't know how the thing is called in English, but you can use this thing as well. Find it on clothes or something like that. Sometimes on newly bought clothes there are also things like that. You see, there are lots of different cute markers, and some of them you can have for free. And here are two more kinds of markers. You don't close them, but you see they're made this way that they will not slip out of your work, but you shouldn't close them every time. So yeah, in summary, buy at least one hook that is like size that can definitely work with most of the yarn you want to try as a beginner. Definitely buy a yarn needle, and definitely buy some kind of a crochet marker. Definitely all these three things, it will make crocheting just much more easier and much more enjoyable. And now let's move to the tutorial. Today's flower is going to be absolutely the same as this one, but bigger. So prepare more than 10 centimeters of the yarn, leave it behind, and then make a knot. Turn counterclockwise. Now you need to make 7 chains. And make a slip stitch into the last one. You've got a circle. Then make 10 chains. And make a slip stitch into the circle. Like that, that's the first petal, and now you can repeat the same thing 4 more times. So chain of 10, and a slip stitch into the circle. That's it. And now 3 more times. I'm sorry, 3 more times. So, and here is the flower. Let's fasten off. So crochet 2 chains and then cut the yarn. Pull it out, then pull it tightly, make a knot, and here you go. And now we are going to sew them all together. Here are all our cute little flowers, and now we are going to sew them together. And for that you are gonna need a yarn needle. A yarn needle is any needle with this big hole, so we can put yarn there easily. So take your little flower and find this long tail here on the back and thread it into the needle. This little flower we are going to sew to this red flower. You simply need to sew it like that. You can see there are these strands. So insert in here your needle and then just keep moving and sewing it all together. Here you can insert needle in whatever place you want really. And then sew this flower to the red one like that. So here is how it looks now, really beautiful. And if this tail is still on, you can use it to sew this big pink flower under the red one. If not, you need to make a knot and use this tail. So I'll thread it and show you what to do next. So when you have sewn all the flowers together, first make a little knot to secure it a little bit in place. I'll just do it like that. And now we need to hide this tail, and you do that again using all of these back strands, but you do them just several in the row, one by one, and hide your tail in there. So I did maybe hide it behind 2 petals, and I can cut it very closely. To the flower, of course. And now hide all of these ends like that into this red flower, right into the petals, but leave this long red tail. We will need it to sew these flowers to the Valentine heart. So here what you should get is a tail for sewing it later. A 3-layered flower.